on Fheadóg Mhór, Irish Traditional Flute Technique by Conal Ó Gráda, and the man is here beside me. Conal, this is a fabulous book.
Thank you.
And it's a reprint.
It's a reprint,
Brilliant.
yeah. It's been out of print now for a while, but
Shows how popular it is.
indeed, yeah.
And you're getting emails every day.
I am indeed.
Hey, we're back in
yeah.
business. Well, I'm delighted to have it back on the shelf.
That's great, yeah.
Because it's very, very popular with my customers. And see here, just opened it up here. You have Eamon Cotter, a great flute maker from
Clare, that's
Clare,
right, yeah. Yes, people might know the book is kind of split in two, really, like, but it's all based on the premise that if you can't hear it, you can't play it.
That's true.
So it basically teaches you how to...
You have to hear the tune.
You have to hear it.
You have to get it into your head.
Yeah, and what the techniques sound like and what they actually do in the music, you know. So that's the book is about, really.
Yeah, and you have a lovely cover on it.
I do.
What are these called, these?
These are the Kool-Aid parrots.
The Kool-Aid parrots.
Yeah. We have them trained to go to the bar and everything.
The Kool-Aid parrots.
Yeah, the artwork was by Colin Murphy, actually, the Boron player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great artist as well, yeah.
Yeah, fair play to him.
But these lads will go to the bar and bring you back change and everything.
That's amazing. we should have a little movie of that.
Yeah.
And you came all the way up from Kool-Aid today.
I did.
3.5 hours.
Bright and early by.
Yeah. I'm glad you had your porridge before you left.
I did. I'm glad I had it too. Yeah. You get nothing in Dublin.
You won't get decent porridge. So if we go through the book, now we have rewrought the preface and about the author.
All about me.
Yeah, that's it. It's well worth. Now, it's a big book. There's 100 pages in it at least.
It's also spiral bound so that it'll stay open, you know, on a music stand or whatever.
Just let's just do that now.
Yeah, and it comes with a CD as well. So all these techniques and tunes are all on the CD as well, so you can play them, you know.
Very good. And is the CD is
it's part of the book, yeah.
It's part of the book.
Yeah. It comes
Excellent.
with it. Yeah.
Right. Well, now I'll do your stand.
I'll have to put
the glasses on.
Put the glasses.
Now you have this as a sample. So we have a real bar and Conal, the top of the hill.
Damn, is that?
Yeah. Very good.
I think that's it. I'm not sure.
Very good. Well, I'm reading the music upside down, and I can read it. Now you have the second one here.
Okay, well, one is with long rolls and cuts and pats.
Yes.
The next one then is with long rolls and short rolls.
Right. Now,
so it's a different way of playing the same
That's
phrases.
it. But that's a good way of explaining what technique is. Mm-hmm. So you can play the tune in many different ways.
Correctly.
You can play it straight, mostly the way I would play it, put a few reels and cuts in, because I wasn't trained. Although John O'Brien did train me on a few tunes, and I noticed that I could play those much better than all the other tunes I learned by ear. But I can tell you that this book is going to liven up your playing of the flute.
Yeah, I think what it's intended to do is to give you an understanding of what you're doing and where to do it and what it sounds like if you're doing it right.
Yeah, understanding and having the tune in your head will make a hell of a difference, because then you begin to see where to put your cuts, where to roll, and your breathing, which is my problem. My breathing is very, very limited, let's say, limited.
And one thing that is in this book, which is probably not in a lot of books, is breath-based articulation.
Yes.
Which is around glottal stops and that. So that's not a subject that's often spoken about because you can't actually see it.
No, but yes, and then it's hard enough to explain. So you have it explained here.
And I'll just give you an example of that from the book, actually. Where is it here? Yeah, if you take this now, we're looking at rolling in the ryegrass, okay?
Yeah.
So you hold the book there now. And what I'll do is, I'm going to play a little extract from it.
Yeah.
Without any breath-based articulation, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if I put in the breath-based articulation,
Right, that's what I am not doing.
Yeah, that's
I'm playing.
the only difference.
That's what I call straight playing.
Yeah, the only difference is like everything else was the same except I added in the breath-based stuff, you know. So that's
Lovely tune.
Yeah, it is actually nice to tune too. Yeah,
and it's bouncy.
Yeah,
when you put it in.
Yeah.
Excellent altogether. Now,
okay, so for Padre, a lot of people ask me like, how do you get a good tone from the flute, you know? Yeah. And like an awful lot of it, fundamental to getting a good tone is holding the flute correctly.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter how good you are at blowing it. If you can't hold it in place, it's lost, you know. So for example, we'll say, look at that now, right? That's the top hand, right? And that's the incorrect way to do it, and that's the correct way to do it. Yeah, to have that space, because otherwise you're going to pinch the flute between your thumb and your index finger, and your hand is going to get sore and it's going to move. And similarly, on the bottom hand, like you don't want your left hand, your top hand doing all the work. You want your bottom hand to do some work as well, and it does that by pushing the flute away from you. So you get these kind of two opposing forces, like this, like so it's like this and like that, you know. So that's how you hold the flute. You know, the fingers don't come into it at all, you know. And the other thing is, you have to seal the holes, because otherwise you're going to get leaks in your tone. So, like, you know, you have to seal it with, preferably, the fatty pads.
Oh, you've got a good photograph there.
Preferably with the pads, you know. Yeah, and then when you've covered all that, the second half of the book is a chapter called Critical Listening. Yeah. So what we do is we take the playing of 6 great flute players, and we analyse them and kind of look back and say, what techniques are they using, the ones we've covered, to achieve the effect that they're getting, and what are each of them doing different to each other as well. Yeah. So there's some great flute players featured there.
It's a book that has depth to it. Critical Listening. Harry Bradley, Aoife Granville, Mike Rafferty, Catherine McAvoy, Patsy Hanley, Tara Diamond, John Wynne, and Eamon Cotter. All fabulous players. And they're all those people, their CDs are fabulous CDs and very popular.
Yeah, so being able to listen and kind of interpret what's happening is really crucial to learning to becoming a better player, you know. So what I describe as a kind of a process. So what I ask people to do is listen first and describe it in normal terms, emotional terms, as to what you're hearing. Okay, so I'm hearing and I think it's very lively, or I think it's very sad, or what, it doesn't really matter what words you have. And then, okay, take a passage that illustrates that, what you've just described, the best. So it might be the first half of the second half, really this
first half of the second half,
might really illustrate what I just described in kind of emotional terms. And then you look at that passage and say, okay, what is the player doing in that passage to elicit that response in you? And it'll come down to, you know, where they're taking breaths, how they're using their tone, how they're using their finger-based articulations, how they're using their breath-based articulations, and a combination of all those. Yeah. So this kind of goes through the process. First is describe, next thing is illustrate, and the next is examine. Unfortunately, it has a very unfortunate acronym, which is DIE. But it's effective, very effective for just bringing an informed way of listening to music, you know, and being able to learn from it. It's a bit of a course as well, because anytime I listen to a flute player, I'm doing it.
Yes.
I can't just sit back and relax.
Yeah, I think it's very important. There's a lot of people now would learn by ear.
Yeah.
It's very surprising, and they really need to be able to listen properly and listen carefully. But I love the idea of describing what you're listening to, because that will help you learn by ear.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I actually only learned how to read music when I was writing this book, because I had to learn how to write it. And learning how to write it, I learned how to read it. But not very well.
It's great though, because nowadays they're teaching music in the cultist branches. From the start, which in my day they didn't, you know.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I taught myself.
So now that's probably the end of the launch. You've got a good feel for what's inside the book, and if you look at the website, we'll have a reference here, a list of contents, and that'll give you a good idea of what you can expect when you purchase the book. Conal, thanks very much.
Thanks,
and the best, you're going to have great luck with this, Ed. I don't need to say the best of luck at all. It's a fabulous book. This is the second print. So there's thousands of this book have already been sold. And we're going to continue selling them now that we have it reprinted. So, well done. I'm delighted now that this is the second print,
Good stuff.
Now, shall we play a tune?
Yeah.
We'll put this book back up here to put it on display. The Bird in the Bush.
The crack. Take it away.